What's going on, squad? Skeletor here with an equipment review for you. Now, as you can see, I've got the Dark Horse Mini, but you can also see I've got it on a tube mod. Yeah, I stole the old lady's tube mod. She's got the Skeletor Mini kicking right now with her little Kangaroo sub tank. So, yeah, I'm going to sit here. We're going to sip some coffee. And we're going to chunk some clouds and talk about this bad boy. See you in a minute. So we are back with the Dark Horse Mini. Now, as you, some of you may know, Steam Angel was the company that made the OG Dark Horse, and it was a chucker. It was a chucker for sure. And you know, Steam Crave said that they weren't going to be coming out with a mini version of this, so China did what they do. And they said, okay, you're not going to make mini version, we make mini. All right, they made their mini. Cool, here it is. Got it right here. I do have a list of pros and cons that I wrote down. We're going to start with the cons because everybody usually starts with the pros. Let's see. Oh, yes, we'll start off with the 510 insert that comes with. I'll go ahead and open the box here. I'm not going to do a dive down close because it's basic shit. You know, you get your screwdriver and your extras. You get the 510 drip tip for the adapter. You get the adapter itself. And then, of course, you get the beauty ring, stainless steel, black, and copper. But this is a worthless piece of shit. All right? It didn't fit any of my 510 adapters. It fit the 510 drip tip that came in the box. But when it came to any of my skulls or my cherry bomber, even the Vape Like a Sir fucking 6-foot tip that I've got, none of them fit. None of them fit. They were all loose. All of them. It's like, hey, let's take this 510 and make it 512. That's basically what it was. Oh shit, we made it 512. Let's put a big fucking O-ring on our own drip tip so it seems like the 510s work. Yeah, fuck that. So yeah, the 510 adapter extremely janky. It goes in from the top, unlike with this, how it slides in and clicks from the bottom. It goes into the top and then clicks. Don't make the mistake of putting it in from the bottom because you're going to have to bang the fuck out of it to get it out. I know that from experience. Let's see, it leaks like a sieve. This is, other than the plume veil that I was messing with a while back, this is the most leaky Addy that I've ever used in my life. Out of the box, it only worked on this. I didn't know exactly what was going on with it. As it turns out, the positive post was out of place, out of socket, so you had to click it back in there. But I didn't find that out until yesterday, and I've been working on this for a week and a half. So every time I would put it on something different than this, I'd have to unscrew the bottom connector pin, you know, to make it loose. And I'll give you an example of that here in a second. As you can see, it's working really well. Now, another con is the threads are loose, and I'm probably going to get the opportunity to show you right now. All right, I'm going to take this off, and you see I'm trying to take it off, and this unscrews. Now, don't you unscrew. It's like every time you give it a half turn, you got to tighten it up a full way up top. All right, so yeah, when you go to take it off, the whole top cap portion that unscrews, it's loose as hell. There's no real bite to it for it to stay stationary. And so every time you change mods with this Addy, you have to readjust your airflow, and then you have to tighten it back down. It's a real pain in the ass. But you see the center pin, it looks kind of flush. Well, that's how it's supposed to sit, and that's how it's supposed to work on everything. Not on this. When that flashes 9.9, that means there's a check atomizer is basically what it's saying. So we'll loosen this up to where it's going to work on this particular mod and mods like this one. If it doesn't have a fixed or a spring-loaded 510 connection, then you're going to have to do this. See how far out it is now? That might work. And that's the thing, is on this, if I'm not mistaken, that actually loosens. Great, now I got to fix the fucking airflow again. That actually loosens the center post. Oh, it's working now. It doesn't matter what type of power you put to this thing, it's going to chuck clouds. I mean, that was only 50 watts. I was bumping at 69 on the jury duty. And I'll be bumping 80 here in a minute on the smoke. The Minion. Alright, so we'll tighten that bad boy back up. Put her on the Minion. Oh, what do we got? Oh, check atomizer. I wonder. Yeah, every time you loosen it, it's just easier to take the cap off, even though you're going to get your fingers messy as shit. It's the easiest, most uncomplicated way to do it. Otherwise, you lose your airflow and all that shit. All right, so loosen that. Yep, the center post came out again. That's exactly what happened. Even though construction would usually be a big comp for somebody enough to give them a low rating, I think my overall rating on this is like a 7.5. And the reason why it's not a 10 is because of all the bullshit. Oh, there we go. Hooray for nipples, because without them, boobies would be pointless. So, okay. That's what it looks like on the Minion. Looks good. We'll put it on. Actually, let me tighten this bad boy up. Go. She's tight. And she even looks good on a big ass tube mod like this, and it looks great on a simple too. But yeah, so the loose threads, big con. It only worked on the IPv4 out of the box, and now you see why. The air ring, the AFC rings with this thing are absolutely cheaply made. It's like cheap aluminum, almost like you can bend them just by doing that. And it's a fingerprint magnet. You know, with all that you have to do in order to get this thing moved from one mod to the other, or to even make it work on your mod, you're going to get juice on your fingers, and it's going to collect fingerprints. It smudges bad. You know, have a rag with you, wipe it down as often as you can. Now the pros. The chuff tip, the material is just so to where it doesn't collect lip gunk. Now it collects condensation on the inside, but you know that gunk that you get? Yeah, it doesn't do it. It's aesthetically pleasing. It looks good on everything that I've put it on, and I like the way it looks. The juice well is deep as shit, and the post holes are great. The negative posts are milled into the deck. And oh yeah, one more con. As you can see how close the posts are together, when you're running in single coil mode, that prevents you from putting wick in the back to where you can have, you know, squirt more juice in there, and you don't have to juice up as often. So that's another con, but that's neither here nor there. And the build deck is great. I was able to do a dual parallel no problem. I've been able to put anything that I want to really in this thing when it comes to building, and I haven't had any problems at all whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, it's a great Addy. It's going to stay in my my catalog. Now the question is if I lost this today, would I run out and buy one? It's a tough question. Let me vape on that for a second. I think if it were constructed a little better, like if they come out with a V2 that doesn't have a janky 510 adapter or janky threads or a thin AFC ring, if I could single coil mode and run a wick to the back, gosh, that's a whole lot of stuff that they need to change. No, I wouldn't go buy another one. Yeah, it's going to get a 7 out of 10, but no, I wouldn't buy another one at all. The reason being is because it's like buying a Dimitri mechanical box or a Cherry Bomber. You're always fucking with it. You're always tweaking with it. It's not one of those things that you can throw together and go. I learned that when I was on the road running errands this past week, that it was just, sometimes it was a pain in the ass. Granted, you don't have to take the cap off every single time to drip when you have this chuck tip, because you've got great visibility. You can hit the coil and the cotton no problem. So dripping wasn't a problem. It was just the mess and the aggravation. If you didn't have a screwdriver and you couldn't get it with your thumbnail, dude, you're screwed. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. I want to thank Evolution Vapes, because without you, it wouldn't have been possible for me to do this review. You guys hooked me up with this Dark Horse Mini for purposes of this review, and as you know, you always get a no bullshit review from me. So with that being said, if you want to find me, WTF Vapors Facebook page, where WTF Vapors is our name, and making you say what the fuck is our game. Find me on Instagram at Skeletor Vapes, and if you want to email me any questions, comments, or concerns, you can hit me up, skeletorvapes@gmail.com. And with that being said, I'm going to give you a Dark Horse goodbye with a little bit of 5S Mystery Juice on top of the wifey's skull tube mod. Goodbye.
Let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, get away, get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop, cause you know I gotta win every day. See, they really wanna pop me. Just know that you will never flop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come, a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about a boom, about a bing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clear to a couple niggas that